Okay, welcome back. This is Mickey from coinopnewyork.com. Anyways, we're back in the ball bowler here, and we're going through some of the things we do to fix these ball bowlers. Again, we have more male and female plugs here, so you want to pull these out and clean them really good. You can see how nice and clean that is and shiny, and then plug them back in. Okay, one of the things I wanted to talk about is this switch over here. This little metal piece that sticks out, when you close this coffin style down, bring it down so it's closed so you can bowl, this little screw pushes down into these switches here, which causes them to close. One of them works the pin motor, so the pins can reset. One of them works the motor in the back for the ball lift motor. So if these switches are not closed, okay, when you put it down, you need to adjust them and gap them. The third switch operates a little light bulb over here for service light. So if you find that you get the game, or you plug the game in and the game isn't working, or the ball lift motor isn't working, or the motor to reset the pins, it's in these switches. They've got to be making all the time. They got to be closed. So there's 3 switches there. They're all stacked together. All right, so that's the coffin part of it. As you can see, now we're going to go around to the back of the head here. And as you can see, there's 18 score reels and some relays and some stepper units. And the same principle applies. You've got to pull each one of these score reels out by undoing 1 screw, 2 screws, then the whole assembly pulls out. And then when you get into the assembly, there's a holding pin and some screws. You take it apart and disassemble it, get all the dried grease and gunk off, put it all back together and test it. There's 18 of them. It should take you about a half hour to do each one. So you're looking at about 9 hours of work doing score reels. More relays to reset here. Got to go through there. And then here's the time consuming part. You have stepper unit, same thing. You take the screw off. Make sure if you take this part off the shaft, you hold the back side of it, because there's some springs back here that are holding it in place. So if you don't hold this when you take it off, because you want to clean the shaft in here, okay, it'll come unwound. So you need to, if you want to unwind it, you can, but count how many times you unwind each stepper unit so you can clean and service these. So this one's for frame advance. This one is for coins, right? Every time you drop a coin or push the start button, it adds how many players. And this one's the player step up unit. So what happens is this keeps moving when it advances from player 1 to player 2 to player 3 to player 4 to player 5 to player 6, and then it resets and goes back to player 1. This keeps track of the players and their scoring. So these plugs over here are the plugs that plug in the bottom board that we showed you in the coffin. They come up from down below. Here you can see there's a huge wiring harness. So these come out, so you can, as you can see, they come right out like that and they get plugged in. And there's a bunch of plugs here, so it's very important that these plugs are cleaned, okay? So when we ship this bowler, we unplug these 3 plugs here, okay? 1, 2, 3, and then a 4th one here. And then the wiring harness gets set down below in this area down here, okay? And then we pull the 2 screws here and the head comes off. So when you get your bowler, this whole entire head will be off the machine and you have to put it back on. Okay, we have 2 doors. We have an upper back door that goes right here, you can see. And then we also have a lower back door, which is right here, that gets held by a screw right here. Down below here we have the ball trough right here. The ball comes through, comes in this trough and comes over to here and lands here, and then the belt picks it up by the way of this little motor back here. This little motor has these 2 little tubes. You see that? You want to drop some lightweight oil in there. I like to use Remington gun oil from Walmart. It's cheap. You dump some in there about every 6 months. Just squeeze it and dump 3, 4, 5, 6 drops into each hole, and that'll keep this ball lift motor working very well. And there's also a plug here The plug goes in the back. So let's see if we can close this up, and we'll do the pin deck next. Close this up. Alright, let's lift this up here. Here's the pin deck. As you can see, this lifts right up. There's a screw that always goes here, and that'll be on the machine, but for this purposes we have it off. Underneath this pin deck, again, you have more coils that reset the pin, and again, you have the little curved pieces of metal here, and sometimes when the pin doesn't latch, like if we put this pin down, watch, I'm bringing it down and resetting it. Okay, so now it's reset. You see how this pin is latched on this plate? Once this coil fires, watch, I'm going to pretend the coil will fire. You see that? It pulls this plate in because it gets magnetized, which releases the pin. Sometimes when your pin's reset, it won't quite latch underneath there, okay? Now, I have these all adjusted, so it's good to go, but if you ever have a bowler where the pins come down but they don't latch, check your gapping here. You may have to, right here, you may have to bend this little piece of metal out a little bit so this flap is out far enough so when the pin resets, it goes underneath that little flap. And when the machine is working, this coil will fire, and then it'll release. Once the coil fires, pulls in the plate, and the pin releases. So you need to clean all the little switches in here. There's a switch for each one, as you can see, and gap them. There's also a little relay back here, and then there's a pin reset motor over there with a little armature. You can spray a little WD-40 in it right on the armature. It's right back there. You can see it goes in and out. See that little thing sticking out, that little metal rod? It gets pulled in. You can to lube it up, and that's it. That's the under. The other side of is the pins underneath here. We've got little pin hangers, these little butterfly units and stuff. You make sure that these are all hung right and your pins aren't hanging crooked or anything. And your rollover switches, check to make sure that you know, your switches are nice and none of them are broken or anything like that. So it's a lot of work to go through a ball bowler, but it's very satisfying when you get done. So, all right, well, this is Mickey from coinopnewyork.com. I want to thank you for watching my videos. Make sure you go to my website, coinopny.com, or give me a call. I'm in Rochester, New York. My number is 585-747-0605. My name's Mickey. I sell ball bowlers, jukeboxes, electromechanical pinball machines, pretty much anything coin op. If you need help with a ball bowler, give me a call. You have my phone number. All right, well, thanks for watching my videos. Have a great day.